It seems clear that around March 2020, anyone that wants to pick up a Linux-powered smartphone will have two options. The PinePhone is a hell of a bargain, coming in at only $150, while the Librem 5 is expected to have higher build quality, performance, and security. Both companies clearly love Linux, but they went about developing a Linux-powered device a bit differently. Purism sent dev kits to anyone that paid for one, plus a few given out to the community, eventually. Pine64, on the other hand, gave development kits to people with proven OS development backgrounds. They were not available for people in the media or Linux enthusiasts. The Purism model was nice because it allowed me to follow nearly the entire process of bringing Pure OS to the dev kit, while early PinePhone videos are few and far between. But providing hardware to open source developers is a proven model. People donate hardware to open source projects all the time. Pine64 is now solving the lack of exposure by releasing the Braveheart edition of the PinePhone, which is available for order at the moment. The OSs that run on the device are still beta, and it will not come pre-installed with any OS. This is amazing for people like me. I can check out a number of OSs that are coming to the PinePhone, even before one is fully usable. Purism, on the other hand, is sending the early versions of their device to the backers who ordered first. There's nothing wrong with this, except I likely won't have good access to Purism hardware until March-ish. If you live near Portland, Oregon, and are in an early batch, feel free to contact me. I would love to record your phone and get your impressions of what it's like to use. Like Apple, Purism has complete control of the hardware and software on the Librem 5. This puts a lot on their plate. They have to design and build working hardware as well as port Pure OS to the phone. This allows them to create a new ecosystem around Pure OS and the Librem 1 services. That has to be good for business. While Pine64 has largely handed off the software side of things to the community, which lets them focus on building good hardware. But it also means that they will be adopting a current or upcoming mobile Linux ecosystem. The Librem 5 wins the Freedom Contest. They are shooting for the Respects Your Freedom certification, which no phone has today. While the Librem 5 still has some binary blobs that need removed, the PinePhone is going to be relying on these proprietary blobs in the kernel for U-boot, for DRAM initialization, power management, Wi-Fi, and baseband. The Librem 5 takes another step towards freedom and security. They separate the baseband from the main CPU and RAM. That way, the baseband on your phone can't poke around your running app data. Phosh is a great idea. Why are we writing desktop applications and phone apps? The Librem 5 and libhandy is the first to try to merge what runs on the Linux desktop to what runs on the Linux phone. If this ends up being even slightly popular in the open source world, a massive collection of ported software and new software will spring up on the phone and on the desktop. It's not like I pull up my Sailfish OS app on my desktop, ever. Not because I don't want to either. It's because they haven't freaking open sourced all the UI components. Shame! Plus, they aren't adaptive, so they wouldn't look quite right on a desktop anyway. However, I could see myself pulling open an app designed for the Librem 5 on my desktop, or even plugging in my Librem 5 into a monitor and using it as a desktop. Using Librem 5 apps on a standard Linux desktop might be a bit challenging, up until libhandy being upstreamed. Then it'll be entirely trivial. Come Q2 2020, I expect the PinePhone will have more OS options, while the Librem 5 will have an officially supported Debian-based Pure OS, and a growing list of alternative OSs. I have to say though, the list of OSs that already run on the PinePhone is impressive. If you loved your Nokia Linux device, Memo Lesto can be installed. You should totally check out Memo Lesto's channel. It makes me miss my N900. There's also an active port of Sailfish OS. The WebOS successor LunaOS is also installable. Check out Christoph's channel for more on that. One of the best looking options is definitely Postmarket OS. Check out Martin Brahm's channel for more on that. He also has videos on UBI ports on the PinePhone dev kit. More videos are definitely needed. I would love to see a video of KDE Neon Debian base on this device, for example. Over the past 2 weekends, I've been working on an automation app called Triggers. The idea is to create an app like Tasker, but for GNU Linux phones. I'm trying to keep the dependencies down so that it can be easily ported or installed on just about any Linux OS. Add a trigger and at least one action. Then you create an event which groups together one trigger and one or many actions. At the moment, trigger scripts and action scripts are working, and I'm working on mockups for the time-based triggers. Compared to making the same app on Android, I would say it's about 1,000 times better writing in Python GTK than Java. So yeah, I cannot wait for my Braveheart PinePhone and my Librem 5 to arrive. Thanks for watching. Bye.